Be sure and tell them Large Marge sent ya.
In the 90s, we were just teeny tykes. We went to movies and our bikes. We wanted to be DJs, but we were just teeny gals. So we went off to college and we remained as pals. 20 years later, we're still watching flicks and we're bringing you the favorite bit by bit. Sweety and Sweety are here to say it's the Large Marge sent us podcast. Hey.
Guys, welcome to the Large Marge Sent Us podcast, your favorite podcast where two Sweety sisters talk about movies that shaped their childhood. I'm Sweety with an IE.
And I'm Sweety with a Y.
Welcome, welcome, my friends, to the podcast, your favorite podcast, where sisters talk in strange their voices. What is this?
What's happening?
What is this voice?
I don't like this. Where'd Sweety go?
See, it's weird. Okay, guys. Hi. Happy Thursday. This week, I posed on Twitter Instagram, as it was my selection, 2 movies that I wanted to cover. Ready? 1, Shag. 2, The Rocketeer. Both good picks. Got feedback about both. People were pretty pumped. However, what came down today was pretty sad.
Mm-hmm.
Here's
Classic.
Classic number 1, Shag, not on any streaming platform. Fuck you. Update. One of our favorite fans, Rebecca, is going to send me the DVD. She has one. She's an angel. So we're going to do Shag eventually,
Woo!
guys. Pumped about it. Number 2, was going to do The Rocketeer, but just wasn't in the rocketeering mood.
Are we ever going to be in the Rocketeer?
Someday
we'll want to watch
The Rocketeer and see Jennifer Connelly in that dress. The way she looked
in that movie.
Cool, guys. So those movies will be done, okay?
Sure.
Moral of the story. Long story long. So I had to pick a new movie. This weekend happens to be wedding weekend, guys. I have 2 weddings. One on Saturday and one on Sunday. Sweety here has one on Saturday.
Just uno for the old Sweety with a Y.
Anyway, we're going on that one together. It's a family one. So it's going to be crazy. I haven't had a wedding. I didn't have any weddings last year. And then I have 4 this year in the span of 2 months. So it's going to be a little wild. So since it's wedding weekend, I thought it would be a perfect opportunity to do a wedding movie.
Okay.
So I chose My Best Friend's Wedding. Dun da da da, from 1997. Starring Julia Roberts.
Nice.
Dermott Mulroney. Not to be confused with Dylan McDermott. My favorite game. We'll play it later.
And
Dylan
Rupert Everett.
Dermott.
Can't keep. It's honestly.
Rupert
Everett. It's really fucking me up. Whose evil plan was this?
What?
To make 3 men who look alike and have the same name but different. Just like Anthony Michael Hall and Michael C. Hall.
Yeah. Well,
fuck you guys.
Dudes, they all kind of look like, too.
That's what I just said.
Okay.
Whose evil plan is that?
That's really evil. Also starring Cameron Diaz. Uncle Carmine. That's just a character he plays.
Did you already say Jules?
Yeah, Julia Roberts, didn't I?
I don't remember.
Yeah, in the
Did
beginning.
we? Okay.
You don't listen to me. Uncle Carmine, also known as Philip Bosco, pretty much our favorite 90s character actor. He's in everything.
Woo.
Love him. And then a couple other people, we'll talk about it later. But this movie is about Julia Roberts, guys. This, as I said, 1997, so peak Julia time, okay? We covered, what have we done for Julia movies so far,
Pretty
Sweety?
Woman.
Yep.
Hook.
Steel.
That's it? Oh, Steel Magnolias.
Might be it.
I hope so.
So,
I don't know.
if you listen to these past episodes about those movies, you'll have heard already much of our thoughts about Julia Roberts, correct?
I don't think we have bad thoughts. I think you just have bad thoughts.
I
I feel
have
like
bad
we
thoughts.
always come away feeling okay about her every time, except
Because
for Hook.
I think with time, I have enjoyed Julia Roberts more.
She's like a fine wine.
Yeah, but maybe as like a child, I didn't like understand her or able to connect with her on a character level. But I feel like I do now, just because I'm an older woman.
Maybe you hate her because she was really pretty and really funny.
The bitch is gorgeous. Okay, that smile is intoxicating, and I know that's what she's known for, but it's insane. So anyway, peak Julia Roberts time. So as we said, we have done those couple movies that we've done, but this was like, obviously Pretty Woman, Runaway Bride came like sort of a little bit after this. What else was she in? Like Stepmom,
Mona Lisa
Smile. Right. So it continued. It's continued forever. Let's be real. Julia Roberts has never had a non-working year.
Yeah.
I mean, I think she like had her twins and maybe took like a little time off, but the bitch works. Yeah. Like if you look at her IMDb, it's like every year.
Why do all these famous people have twins? Like,
yeah, that's weird.
It's really weird.
Is it because they use
in vitro?
Interesting.
I don't know.
Yeah. So she's great in this, obviously. Quick backstory. And I think I have told this story before, maybe just on Instagram. So this was the first movie I ever saw by myself.
Wow. And how old were you?
So 1997, I would have been 14, depending on when it came out, or 13. I'm assuming 14 because it felt like a summer movie, but who knows. Yeah, and I remember I saw it by myself because you and Dad wanted to see something I didn't want to see or had already seen.
Men in Black.
Yes. Okay. Thank you.
Good times.
Or you were seeing it again?
Circle. Yeah, I was seeing Men in Black. It would have been your second time too, but it was like I want to see Men in Black again.
Right. So that I was like, you know what? I'm old
not
enough
crazy.
To see a movie by myself. So I saw this movie by myself, and I remember I went to this movie theater because I don't think it was Wellfleet, and they had these little seats on the side that were like little twofers. And I sat in the twofer by myself, and I was like, this is an amazing experience. And I really connected to this movie, and I'm not really sure why, because it's sort of horrible. It's a great movie, and I really enjoy it, but the plot is like ridiculous, and I'm not sure what to make of it. I'm really not.
Very confused.
And we're going to talk about it. But that's my backstory with this movie. Sweetie, what's your backstory?
Backstory is plain and simple. I did not see this. I've seen parts of this, but not the whole way through. I know the iconic moments. I know it's shtick, whatever. But I wasn't here for it. Where was I? Watching Men in Black twice, apparently. This is at a time in my life when I was in 5th grade. Peak of my social ladder, really. Probably have never been more popular than I was in 5th grade. Wow. But I was living the good life, hanging out with the cool kids, listening to TLC, blah, 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 handing out weird flyers that say don't go chasing waterfalls to my classmates. And it was great. It was a great time. So I think I was just way too young for this when it came out. Nothing that interested me. So didn't see it. And then that continued just my whole life until tonight.
So an extension of my story. So I saw this movie by myself, but then I saw it at the drive-in. Do you remember that?
You were obsessed with it.
Like, what would I have seen it with?
Or who?
No, a mom and dad, I'm pretty sure, because I saw this movie by myself, and I'm like, it's so good, guys. Like, I was obsessed with it. You have to come see it. So then it was at the drive-in, and then we saw it at the drive-in.
Was I there?
I feel like you were.
Well, maybe I was sleeping, and that's why I've seen parts of it.
Yeah.
Because I only slept through
drive-in
most
movies
of it.
were tough.
It was probably the second movie, and the first one was like, yeah.
And you would have fallen asleep? Okay, yeah. Let's go that as a story. Anyway, so great film, really funny, big kind of breakout role. Cameron Diaz was in The Mask, but then this was kind of a real great comedic turn for her.
The Mask was a comedy.
Yeah, but she wasn't like funny in it.
Really, yeah, okay.
And then also kind of brought, I'm pretty sure this is true, both Dermott Mulroney, who really like kind of came out of nowhere. I think he was probably in small bit parts or whatever, but this was like, everyone was like, who is that cute guy, including myself. And then Rupert Everett like came out of nowhere. Again, very successful in like the UK and stuff, but then this is basically his movie. I mean, he like steals it.
Rupert.
Oh my God.
Rupert, if you like having fun, and skip and jump and run. If you need a friend, you can depend on Rupert. He's the one. Cute, adorable British cartoon, Rupert. Where did you go? That's all I have to say.
Oh God, that was adorable.
But yeah, Rupert. Wow, he does steal the show. The movie should just be all about George.
It really should.
All about George.
It really shouldn't. It's just like one of those things, and like, almost like he should have gotten an Oscar nom or gold. Maybe he did get a Golden
Maybe he did.
Globe
He
one.
probably did.
Yeah. but like fabulous. And Julia, as we said, Julia, fabulous self as she is. Kind of a interesting turn for her as like a likable, also not likable like
Psychopath?
character. Yeah, it's really like a conundrum, that character for me, because sometimes you really like her and sometimes you're like, girl, get a grip. Like, what is your problem? And the way they set this up is that like, and the person who she's against, the Kimmy character, Cameron Diaz, is like really likable.
Yeah.
And so you like really can't hate her. So it's like this weird movie where you're rooting for like everybody, and you're like, wait, how can that happen? Because like not everyone
I
can
don't
win.
know. I'm never rooting for Michael. I think Michael's dumb.
Michael is dumb. There's a lot of reasons why, and we're going to talk about it. But
it.
I thought he was very cute when I first saw this. Obviously, being 14 and being like, boys. But yeah, he's an idiot in this.
He's so dumb.
Yeah.
Well, he's like that in everything. Like Family Stone, he just has that way about him. He's just like a piece of wood. He's like an attractive piece of wood. He's like, hey, yeah, what?
But his teeth.
Yeah.
My God, his teeth.
Yeah, I'm handsome. Like that's how he acts. Like
And his like bushy
yeah,
eyebrows.
It's like
and
okay,
his, like,
we get it.
Nose, it's like slightly too
His
big,
his,
but actually like a
weird
perfect size.
scar.
Brilliant
Like,
head of hair.
yeah,
Come
I don't
on,
know. Yeah, I'm
Michael.
not denying he's not handsome. He's just like a wooden actor.
Yeah, no, I agree. Was he the boyfriend of Jess in New Girl? Remember when he's like the older boyfriend who was the kid in her class?
Yeah.
Yes.
Or was it
Good turn. Yes, it is him.
not
No, Dylan
Dylan
McDermott
McDermott?
does like fancy stuff.
Fancy stuff.
He would never be on New Girl. Dylan McDermott.
God, okay.
Excuse me. Anyways, so yeah, that's a wrap. Not on this podcast. We're just getting started, guys. It's time for the. Whoa. Are you ready? Yeah. Buckle up.
I'm ready. Cha-ching.
It's for the Sweety synopsis.
Yeah. Sweeties.
I've got moves you've never seen. I hate that part.
That's like the
Freak.
part I remember.
Me
Like I was
too.
like, wait, why do I know this scene?
She's like carrying the drinks in
Yeah.
her belly shirt.
Like,
They
I'm
put her in all these
so
belly shirts,
hot.
and you're like, that doesn't
It was
feel
late
like her
90s
character.
thing.
I know,
It was
but
a
it's just I don't think
style.
Jules would wear a belly shirt.
Who knows what her style is? Julianne Potter is a New York food critic who's living her life, eating dishes, writing down what she thinks about them.
Eating dishes?
Yeah,
It's a weird way to say it.
eating dishes of food.
There you go.
What? I don't know.
just
Dishes.
gonna-
Dishes is like a colloquialism for food. That was a good dish. Like chefy.
No, I
It's
know,
real
but like
chefy.
I eat a dish. I don't know.
You eat it. Your dish. So
Let me tell you something about the scene in Willy Wonka in the Chocolate Factory where he like eats the daffodil cup. Remind me to tell you something about that after this podcast, okay?
okay, good times. So she's a food critic. She's with her editor George, who's this awesome gay guy who's hilarious. They have a great rapport, and she gets a call. She gets a call from Michael O'Neill, whose last name is spelled like Shaquille O'Neal. Lame. Sports writer. Okay. Anyway, so she gets a call and she's like instantly like smiling, and the message is like, "Hey, haven't talked to you. Trying to get a hold of you for a month. Can't get a hold of you." I guess she's been on a book tour because she wrote a book about food she's eaten. I don't know. Yeah. And so she's been gone. So you can't check your messages in 1997. I guess. Totally
She's gotta
false.
check him for somebody. She's like a reporter, isn't
Right.
she?
She's a food critic, I thought. But anyways,
Essentially.
so he's like, I got to talk to you. Like, I'll be in Chicago. Come meet me there or something.
Yeah.
Or no?
Yeah, I think so.
He tells her on
I'm
the
gonna
phone.
be at the
Oh, he
Drake.
tells her on her phone.
I'm at the Drake. Call me no matter what time it is.
Oh, well, I see. So she does it. So she calls him, and he's like, listen, I got to talk to you. And she thinks in her little weird head that, a long time ago, her and Michael used to date briefly. It was brief. I don't even know if they dated.
was
They
hot
had
and
like
heavy for
they had
1
like a
month.
hot like romp for a month.
But
And then
Jules
he
is
was
commitment phobia.
Yeah, and then she's commitment phobia, and they're really just friends. And he was like, I can't lose my best friend. And she was like, oh my god, yeah, you're my best friend too. And then they made some like bullshit pact that was like, promise me when we're 28 years old we'll get married. Give me a fucking break. 28 years old? Are you kidding me with that?
Oh my
Let's
God.
put it up a notch. I think it's like 40 years old, maybe 45 if we want to get like
about
real crazy.
80?
But like, calm down. Like, what the fuck? Plus, you're two both very attractive people. I highly doubt this would ever happen. Whatever.
But it did.
So she thinks he's calling because of that, because as luck would have it, she's turning 28 pretty soon. So
he's
she
definitely
calls
gotta be
him.
about
She's
that.
all excited. She's like, oh, he's loved me for 9 years, blah, blah, blah. She's like obsessed with the fact that he's loved her for 9 years, which is a whole other issue. And so she calls him. They're talking on the phone. He's like, listen, I got something to tell you. And she's like, oh, I know you do. And she's like, the pact, right? And he's like, what? No, it's not why I'm calling. He's like, actually, I met someone. And she's like, what? And he's like, we're getting married. And she's like, what? And he's like, Sunday. And we're like, what? Like, what? So, yeah, he's been trying to get a hold of her for a month. I get that. But still, that means, how long has he known this person? It's a lot of questions.
Not long, because if this was a normal wedding, you'd send a fucking save the date / invitation so people would get a heads up about your week-long wedding affair. Like, what? So it's the details are sketchy about when he met Kimmy, who is a 20-year-old junior architecture major at some bullshit school, whatever. They fell in love and they're getting married. So they haven't known each other long, but for some reason they feel the need to get married before she graduates college. Like, what?
She's getting her MRS.
Yeah, apparently. I can't stand that part of it. But anyway, so this triggers in Jules' head, all right, I love him. I got to stop this wedding. Because she suddenly, has liked that he has liked her, as you said, for 9 years.
But where's the proof?
But is just coming to terms that, oh no, maybe that he won't be available on the market anymore. So that person for her is going to be gone. Which is a common thing, whether you're a man or a woman. Sometimes, a lot of people have those kind of people. And then when that person goes, you get freaked out because you're like, oh shoot, I need them in my life liking me. It's kind of a sick thing, right? Anyway.
It's because you're like, oh, that was the one person I thought I could marry and I waited too long. I blew it up. So
well, then
I
you
messed
should have
up.
married him.
So, right.
Like,
so they're
snooze, you lose. But she's
Should
like,
be the theme of this movie. You snooze, you lose.
Exactly. So, he wants her to come so she lives in New York and wants her to come to Chicago and be part of this whole wedding week. So, and then he's like a sports reporter, so he's there anyway, or he took time off or something. Anyway, he travels around the country for his job writing about sports. So she's like, I'm going to do it under the guise of I'm also going to try to break up this marriage, right?
Devious. So, yeah, she's got a couple plans. So she meets Kimmy, and Kimmy, within 5 minutes of knowing her, is like, hey, will you be my maid of honor? Which is weird. Kimmy, a couple red flags with Kimmy. Number one, doesn't have any friends.
Yeah, doesn't have any friends.
Kind of concerned about that. Her only 2 bridesmaids are her only 2 cousins under the age of 40, not married. So she doesn't have anyone else that can be a maid of honor. So, or no, it wasn't she. It was supposed to be her best friend who something
Broke her
happened. Okay. I wish she had hobbled in at the last minute and was like, what is this? I forgot that she did have a friend. Wonder what that friend's like.
You can be a maid of honor in a wheelchair.
I know. Suck it up.
Yeah.
So
Betsy.
she asks, so whatever. So Kimmy's weird. Her parents are super rich, super loaded, and she's fine with also just ditching college and getting married until, well, whatever. So Julianne is like, why maid of honor? Like, what? But then she realizes this is perfect because now I'll be well situated to act out my plans. So she's got a couple plans. Plan A, pretend Michael sucks. So they're in the elevator and she's like, don't you hate how Michael snores so loud? I don't know why she in her weirdo head is oh, she'll definitely ditch the wedding, break up the wedding because she remembers how much he snores. What? So they talk about that, but then she realized,
softball moves.
Yeah, totally. So it doesn't really work because Kimmy's finds his faults lovable.
Which
and
you obviously do if you're going to marry somebody.
Unless you're Jules, who's a psycho. Obviously. There's a part where...
what are his other flaws? Let's go over them.
I just remember the snoring.
He drinks soup through his teeth.
How do you do that?
I guess if you had a space, I'd get it. But he's sucks it up that, I guess. Snores. He smokes cigars in bed. Dangerous. But he quit that habit, apparently. Good for you.
Good one, Kimmy. Is likes karaoke.
Likes karaoke and wears Reeboks to dinner.
To dinner.
Ooh, guys. Bad
He doesn't
news.
seem like a Reeboks
Deal
to dinner.
breaker.
He doesn't seem like a Reeboks to dinner kind of guy. But what do I know? So those are his faults that she tries to highlight.
Big deal breakers. Red flags. Get out
and
of there.
it backfires because, like I said, Kimmy finds it lovable and loves him anyways. And Jules is like, yeah, okay, whatever. Plan B. get Michael to think Kimmy is dumb. So here she's like, oh, she finds out that Kimmy like hates karaoke and is like terrified of it. So they go to this karaoke, can't sing.
Hold a note.
So they go to this karaoke bar and Michael's trying to get Kimmy to sing. And she's like, no. And you think Jules is on her side at first. And she's like, no, Michael. Like, she doesn't want to do it. She doesn't want to do it. Like, leave her alone. And then she takes the mic and is like, and now presenting Kimmy, blah, blah, blah. And so Kimmy has to sing. Even though, like, you don't have to sing. Like, here's what you do. You don't sing. And you, like, give the mic to someone else and then, like, cry in the bathroom. Like, it's not that hard. But she's a good sport and she sings anyways, even though her voice is terrible. She didn't get to pick the song. What song was that?
I don't know.
Even. So, and this backfires also because Michael's like, oh, she's so sweet. She like can't sing, but she did it anyways. I love her so much. Ha ha ha. And Jules is like pissed about it. So yeah. So plan B, plan A, plan B is not working. How about plan C? Plan C. Make Michael jealous. So her buddy.
Wait, you miss first. Well, plan C is actually convince Kimmy to have Kimmy convince her dad to offer Michael a job, and Michael loves his job so much that Michael will think that Kimmy thinks his job sucks and be insecure about it, and then when they get in that fight,
so weird.
The
I don't
thing
even
is, like,
get
the
it.
big
I needed like Sweety to like map it out for me on a whiteboard with like what is this plot, this side plot with the job drama. I just did not get it. So they get into like this big fight about it, and then that backfires too. They make up. I looked away for a second. They had made up. I don't know how. Anyways, like I said, it's confusing.
The karaoke song was "I Just Don't Know What to Do with Myself," which is a Burt Bacharach song. Cool.
Okay, so Jules is like, I'll pick the most.
Know what to do with myself.
So Jules picked like a song that would be like purposely bad and like no tune. Yeah. Okay.
Anyway,
cool.
Okay. Back to Plan D.
Plan D to make him jealous. Yeah. So George flies in to, he senses things are going badly, so he comes in to save the day. And
you sound much like him.
Thank you. And she like freaks out for a second, is like, he convinces Jules like the only way to do this is tell him the truth, plan Z. It's really Jules' plan Z, let's be honest. And Jules is about to tell him the truth, but then is like, I got something to tell you. And then they see George knocking over tuxedos or something, and she's like, oh, I have an idea. She's like, I'm engaged too. Classic, right? So now she has to pretend that she's engaged to George, and George has no idea, and says, oh, it's very funny. Now they have to pretend, blah, blah, blah. Of course, everyone's smitten with George. Everyone loves George. They're like, George, I love you. So whatever.
Who wouldn't be?
So then stupid Michael gets like a little jealous. But then what happens in that conversation? He's like, when I found out you were engaged, a weird thing happened. And she was like, that's called jealousy, Michael. But then he says like something else. Like, it wasn't jealousy. It was like,
well, I think
happiness.
From his standpoint is like, almost what she's feeling now, that he's going to get to lose her as his best friend. And he says that speech like, oh, this is going to be the last time like we're alone and having this sort of rapport together because I'm going to get married and we can't hang out anymore. I mean, I don't really get that. But I think he's just coming to terms that their relationship is going to change, whether he gets married or she gets married or they both do, right?
Okay. Yeah. Still, this movie's confusing for me. I don't know why. It's next level confusing for little Sweety.
All right.
Anyways.
Plan F.
Tell the truth. No.
Plan F. Write email.
Write fake emails from your best friend's future father-in-law's computer. So she finds out somehow that Kimmy's dad knows Michael's boss or whatever, is close with him, something. Her dad's like some big high up schmuck guy. What's his job? I don't know.
I forget. He owns some. I thought he owns a sports team too or something.
Oh yeah. Yep. That's something like that. Yeah. So
or he owns a sports team.
So Jules like finagles her way into his office, and he like leaves or something, and she goes on his computer and writes an email to Michael's boss, which is basically like, dear Michael, I mean, dear guy, you you need to save my daughter's happiness. The only way she'll be happy is if Michael takes a job here. So I need you to fire him for me as a favor. Okay, thanks. Bye. Like what? And I was beside myself, like thinking that this guy is gonna go for it. I'm like, sweetie, what is he getting out of this? I don't understand. And you were like, it's just a favor. It's just a favor. And I was like, nobody does that as a favor.
So luckily, you do see like a glimpse of someone having a conscience, Jules, and decides not to send it at the last minute.
Yep.
But she saves it for later. So essentially, it's in the drafts folder, right? So she doesn't know this, but before he leaves, Kimmy's dad is like dealing with his secretary, and he goes, "BTW, I have some unsent emails. Please send them like this afternoon." So all the emails in the draft folder are going to get sent, including this fake one. Oh no.
Whoops.
So Jules doesn't know this has happened, and she has second thoughts anyway and tries to go back to the computer like late at night, but the office is locked and he doesn't have the right keys. She's with Michael. So she's like flipping out. So they go back to the hotel and Michael gets a fax. So you think it's going to be, and this is what we thought because I forgot kind of how this went down, that Michael's boss is like firing him like the day before his wedding, because like the fax starts off like, "Hate to do this on the day before your wedding, Mike." Like, what? We were like,
dear Michael,
"Dear Michael,
you're fired. Have a good wedding.
congratulations on your impending nuptials. You're fired. Goodbye, Eric." So anyway, no, it's not. So the boss is just doing him a solid and basically saying, "Yo, just wanted you to know what you're marrying into, your father-in-law, future father-in-law scum." And so he flips out, calls Kimmy, and then he says it's over. Mm-hmm. And Jules should be happy. She should be thrilled.
She'd be thrilled, but she's guilty now.
She's guilty.
Suddenly has a conscience and is like, "Oh my God, what did I do?" And then, but okay.
So she drinks
a lot. She seems like
she doesn't drink a lot this time.
What?
Sorry. She wakes up next morning.
Yeah.
Day of
Gets a
wedding.
call. Well, okay, yeah. Finds out the wedding's still on. She's like, "What the fuck?" So she marches down there in her belly shirt and like slacks, and she goes up to Michael and is like, "What is this? The like throwing the wedding's over party or something?" And he's like, "I didn't tell anyone yet. Like I'm here to confront them or something." So then they have like a heart-to-heart in the gazebo, and she's like, "Okay, now is the perfect time for Plan Z. Tell the truth." So she's like, "Michael, I have to be honest with you. Like, I love you. I'm in love with you. Blah 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 blah." Before she like waits for him to like respond, she kisses him. It's like it seems passionate, kind of. And then they pull away, and Kimmy's there. She saw everything. So she's like, storms away, in her neon dress with her like cardigan off the shoulder, whatever, blah blah blah. And she gets in her car and drives away. And then Michael follows her, and then Jules steals a bread truck, and she follows them, and they drive like into the city. And then she calls George, and he's like, "Listen, I hate to break it to you, but like, was he kissing you back?" And she's like, "What are you talking about? We kissed. That's you have to kiss back to kiss someone." He's like, "No, genius, you don't." And then he's like, "Listen, no one's following you in this chase. That should give you your answer. Like, why is he chasing after Kimmy if he's in love with you, right?" So she's like, "Fuck." So she goes, finds Michael like sitting sad at the train station where he like proposed. He tells her the engagement story. I guess she realizes, or she thinks now is the perfect time to tell him that, "Oh, like, I'm not done lying. Actually, it was me that sent that like fucked up email to your boss." And instead of being like really mad at her, he's like, "Oh, that's okay. Like, I'm glad
It
you
shows
love
how
me."
much you love me.
Yeah, it shows how much you love me. But like,
He
listen,
says thank you. It like, shows how much you love
like,
me. What?
"Oh, gee, thanks, but I don't
that
love
toxic friend.
I don't love you." So I guess at that point she realizes that it's just not meant to be. So let's try to make it better. So she like goes to Kimmy and is like, "Listen, I fucked up. Like, blah blah blah. He still loves you. He doesn't want me. Like, I lost." And then convinces her to go through with the wedding. So they like have the wedding, and then Jules gives a speech, and it's like this nice moment, and then whatever, and then Michael and Kimmy go off on their honeymoon, and Jules is like, "Yay, now I'm alone at a wedding after dumping my heart out to the love of my life when he denied me." But little George is there, and he calls her, and there's this cute scene, and then they dance together, and like we're supposed to take away, I don't know, it's okay to be single. It's just like
really
I don't know.
a atypical ending.
Really, yeah.
For a romantic
I was
comedy,
surprised.
why I think this movie was kind of so groundbreaking when it came out. Because if you saw the previews, you know, I think you would have assumed that they would have ended up together.
You'd be like,
right?
okay, I know how this movie ends.
Yeah. But they really didn't do that. And obviously, because, you know, he ends up still with Kimmy. And it's, I think it's more of like real, because I don't think she really loved Michael. Like, again, she liked the idea of Michael.
Like, what is the relationship here? How often do they see each other?
Long
What is
distance
this?
best friends, and they had some good times, you know. But like, they've never really dated. She doesn't know. She knows him as a friend. She doesn't know him as Michael the lover or Michael my partner. You know. So it's like, and that's like always the thing with these like things, right? You have this fantasy in your head of who this person's going to be, and like, it's not real. So I think that was a little bit what they were trying to do, which is really very different for rom-coms, right?
Yeah, totally. I was surprised. I was shocked.
Oh, definitely. So, but it's still happy. It's not like it's depressing because, again, you liked Kimmy, and so you want her to be happy too. And she's really happy. Jules happy with her New York life. And, you know, this movie should really be retitled My Best Friend George, because that's who her real best friend is.
Yeah.
Like, it's time to give up Michael.
Yeah, Michael sucks.
Michael sucks,
Not a good
first of all.
friend.
Yeah, not a good friend.
If he wears Reeboks to dinner, he's no one's friend.
And it's like, that's like her old best friend.
Yeah, old
Like,
best friend.
You move through different best
New
friends
best
in your
friend.
life
New
a
best
lot
friend
of times, depending on where you are and what you're going through. And Jules is very cosmopolitan. She smokes. She lives in New York. She does all these things. George is her friend. And luckily, she will never have romantic feelings for him because he's gay.
He's gay.
So it's perfect.
Woohoo! And
Anyway.
he, like, bonus, kind of looks like Michael, so you can just, like, pretend it's him a little bit, I guess. Yeah. It's so silly.
Yeah. But, you know, good movie. I really do, you know, I think this movie's pretty charming. And I just love a good, you know, 90s rom-com. They're just like, you know, they're just like, as I said, getting, as I say a lot about movies we cover. Like getting a hug. Getting a big, warm, romantic hug.
Yeah, it's okay.
You know, like all the J-Lo ones.
Yeah.
Like, I love those.
I like those.
I love Made in
I just feel-
Manhattan.
I just-
love
yeah.
The Wedding Planner.
I just don't love the, like, crazy girl. Girl is so desperate for a guy that she does shitty, awful things. Like,
But, like, I don't know if I find her, like, I mean, I guess she's desperate,
psycho.
But
full-blown psycho, really.
But I see it more like, and she does say this, like at first it was about just like her winning and like always like, you know, competing for Michael's affections, because she was always like she was always the number one girl in his life, and that's like something she
on the
couldn't
basis
handle.
Of what? Like, that makes you just think that she like made that like hallucinated that, and they were just friends
I
this
guess
whole
he
time.
didn't have any other
I don't
girlfriends.
think he was in love with her.
Because he just never like got over Jules, and I guess she had some, but maybe like he didn't know about him or didn't care. I don't know. But overall, I think it holds up. It's pretty cute, and like I said, unlike most rom-coms, it has a very different kind of ending.
Sure. Yeah. It was okay. Yeah. It's not my favorite. Obviously, like, Pretty Woman still is my favorite.
Wow,
Jules Roberts. Yeah, I don't know. This is just, like, too many twists and turns. Too many, like, oh, we hate each other. Oh, we love each other. Oh, I love you. I don't like you. Michael's weird. I can't get over Michael. I'm just like, he does this thing. I mean, you said it, like, mixed signals Michael.
Oh, yeah.
Michael Mixed Signals.
Michael Mixed Signals O'Neill. That should be his name.
Why is he...
I would be confused if I was Jules.
Yeah,
too.
I would be,
because that's the thing. You don't. It's not like she's making it up. Because even you're like, wait a minute, buddy.
He like sees her in her bra and underwear, and he's like, "You look good." P.S. You look good naked. Like, who the fuck says that?
He does like the most romantic things possible. I'm sorry, you don't do that with
Takes
friends.
her on like a gondola and is like, "Hey, let's slow dance."
They have a song
to the Fredis to the way you look tonight, and I'll close sing to you to your face. Like, what?
And like acting jealous, you know, when she's engaged, when he finds out she's engaged, you know, saying all these little things all the time. When she comes to meet them at dinner when they're at the karaoke bar, and he's like, wow, you look so amazing or something, like complimenting her all the time. Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of mixed signals, and I feel weird about it.
And she's like, and I just don't understand why she's obsessed with them. Like she says to George on the phone, he's just so wonderful. And I'm like, is he? Yeah. What does he do that's wonderful? I mean, Please I feel like enlighten me.
Almost like the guy who we've been like was in Mermaids and Jake Ryan, and then Wild Hearts Can't Be Broken.
Yeah, that guy.
You know, which makes me kind of feel good because this happens to women all the time, right? Kind of getting cast for their looks. Maybe not their acting capability, you know?
Yeah.
So I feel okay about that.
Yeah. I just think he's such a weird character. He just sucks. He's so dead in the face.
What'd
like,
you call
oh, hey.
Woodhead or something?
Like an attractive piece of wood or something. It's like boring. And yeah, I don't know. The ending was confusing. Like the message, whatever. Like I get it, but I don't know. I just don't understand why her dress was sparkly. You know, it wasn't sparkly.
I love the sparkly part of the
no,
dress.
I liked it, but like, where did that come from? Like, it wasn't sparkly
it's
in the wedding
interesting that
store.
it's a halter.
Was that a choice?
Yes, she goes, this is going to be tighter here. And that was just like the faux strap.
I know, but the like the glitter, that dress being glittery was not a choice. It was either dandelion or lilac. No sparkles.
Maybe Julia requested
Plot
it.
hole.
Okay, let's talk about favorite scenes.
Oh, okay.
Do you have any?
I liked the scene where every scene that George was in the movie,
Yes.
but like primarily
That's what I wrote down.
when he comes in
Every Rupert Everett scene.
and he goes to this like tourist seafood restaurant with the family and everyone's like celebrating Jules' like love. I think they're like secretly like, woo, she doesn't love Michael. So they're excited about it, right? So he tells this like hilarious story of like how they first met. It's, you know, completely false, but he's just like a great like British storyteller with like an amazing accent, and he's just like, you could just like
Classically trained.
yeah. And so everyone's like enraptured, and then he just starts singing like quietly the Dionne Warwick song.
Yeah,
Say a
he
little
tells
prayer.
this fake story about how he was in a mental hospital, and Jules was visiting a French chef who she sent there, and he was visiting a Dionne Warwick like drag star or something.
Oh, I thought it was Dionne
No,
Warwick.
it was not. His name was Larry or something. And then he sees Jules for the first time, and he like I asked Dionne, like, do you think I will ever be able to have that siren? And she opened her eyes and said, the moment I wake up, and I put on
And then he
my
sings like line by
makeup,
line, and then one like
I
the
say
family
a little prayer
members
for you.
one by one join in, and they all forever and ever
I say in my heart, and I will love you forever and ever and ever.
Yeah.
with
So they like the whole.
Polly.
It's a good scene. I like that.
Yeah.
I love
Probably the most
movies
famous
where
scene
like
in the movie.
where like random song. You break out random song. That's fun. I like that scene a lot, and I liked the. I'm blanking now. I'm trying to like. I know the Kimmy karaoke scene is supposed to also be iconic
Yeah.
and like famous, but I didn't like it. I was like, I don't know what the song is. It's kind of funny, but I don't know. It wasn't as groundbreaking as I
Here's
thought
why I
it
like
was.
it. 2 reasons. It feels really real that Cameron Diaz cannot sing, and that's exactly how she would sing a karaoke song. I find that really realistic. And also to the character, because Kimmy's supposed to be very perfect, and it's like the fact that she has this glaring flaw that like she is like the worst singer on the planet is awesome. Second of all, Dermott Mulroney or what the fuck is this character's name?
Michael.
Michael's look on his face when she starts singing is like this look of horror that is so great. And obviously he's not going to break up with her because she can't sing. Who can
Yeah.
sing? Like nobody. But I also like that the look on Kimmy's face, that she's so nervous and hates doing it, but is like doing it for him because she loves him so much and wants him to like her so much, is like an adorable thing. And I think
That's
Cameron
sweet. That's true.
plays that so well. And it's like, again, like so just seems so genuine and like almost like barely acting. Like she just did so well. And I think that's really a standout scene for Cameron Diaz, and kind of what, again, kind of vaulted her to even more fame. That's my theory. I'm sticking to it.
It's a good one.
Oh, and I also want to add for another Michael McSignal scene, the ring scene. Okay, so Jules is the maid of honor, but she's also like, he entrusts her with the wedding ring, right? And it's like this butt ugly band with like weird stones on it. I don't know. I was not into that wedding ring. Were you?
No, it was ugly.
Yeah, ugly. So she's like, oh, and does that thing, you know, when you like try on someone else's ring. Dude, this happened to me with my grandmother. I tried on my grandmother's wedding ring or like diamond engagement ring one time and would not come off. I was like little too, like maybe like 8 or something. I have pretty big knuckles, and I was like, oh shit, like I'm just like trying to take this off. So anyway, so she tried, like puts it on, can't get it off, and then like has to confess to Michael, I tried on the ring and I can't get it off. So instead of being like, let's go into the bathroom and put some soap on that, he sticks her entire ring finger into his mouth to wet it with his saliva and drags the ring up with his teeth. It's pretty hot.
It's not. I don't think it's hot at all.
I don't know. I got a little lady boner.
Gross.
But like, okay, mixed signals. Calm the fuck down. Like, what?
Yeah, this is way too extreme. We don't need to go to those levels. Ugh.
Nasty.
Also, what if he like gagged and he was like, like what? It was just not. It was
fingers
not
bend.
my thing. I was not into it. Did you have other favorite scenes?
No, those are it.
Those are
favorite scenes.
Those are it. There's a lot of good little like moments, I would say, and you know, I like Jules' extensive style. I guess is like slacks, mostly slacks and belly shirts.
It's very New York, I feel like.
She's cool, yeah. I love her hair.
She smokes.
Yeah, she smokes, but she seems to only smoke. She seems to be a stress smoker. Yeah. She's only seemed to be smoking when she's stressed out, which is fine. But yeah, she's cool, except for the fact that she's like a psychopath. So that's, you know, I'm of two sides here, two opinions, and that's my spiel on Jules. What do you got?
Okay. Yeah, belly shirt. I like when I think the first time they put her in the belly shirt, though, is when she kisses Michael. So I feel like she's supposed to be like, ooh, like harlot, loose woman, and they like stick her in the belly shirt. Interesting. Costume.
Good one.
Choice.
Yeah, totally. I don't know what this note means that I wrote. What do you think graphics means underlined?
Graphics? Where?
The graphics were good. Oh, maybe I wrote this was like something else I wrote on.
Oh, you know what else was my favorite scene that I was also obsessed with when I was little? So the beginning thing that sets up the credits is this adorable little like dance number with the song like, you got to hold him and love him and kiss him and squeeze him, and dun dun dun, after you do, you will be his. It's like an old doo-wop song, and it's this bride and then her three bridesmaids, and they do this like cute little dance, and it's like really sassy and everything, and it was just like an adorable way to start the movie, and I just loved it.
It was cute. It was cute. Went on for a long time though.
It did.
I was like, is this over?
A lot of credits. Or it wasn't even credits. It was just like a setup to the movie.
Yeah.
Do you find this movie a little bit anti-feminist?
Why?
Well, I know everyone can make their own choices about, you know, whether you work
in
or
regards to
whatever.
Kimmy.
Yes, I'm just
kind of, but
and Kimmy voices her frustration though, so I guess that like kind of covers it up.
Nothing
but
comes of it,
right? But why? First of all, I have no idea why they're rushing to get married. It makes no sense at all. She's 20 years old, so she's like, she graduated junior year. I'm not going back to school, she says. Who would do 3 years and out of 4 years of college and leave?
Yeah.
Like, go for the one. It
Throw
doesn't
in the
matter if you
towel.
decide not to work. I mean, her parents are
fucking
super
get it.
rich, so she probably doesn't have to work anyway. But get your degree, so at least if anything happens, you'd have a bachelor's.
Yeah, I just can't see her being an architect.
Me neither.
What an odd choice for that
part
character.
was weird, but there was just like no reason for her
And,
to
like-
quit school, and I guess she was going to travel around with Michael, like just so they could be together. But like, here's an idea: like date for a year.
Where
Why
did
are you
they meet?
They didn't say. Maybe they did, but
Probably probably if her dad owns the baseball,
that
maybe
must have been
something
why.
with that.
Yeah.
But also another thing I don't get. So maybe the characterization of Kimmy is weird, but like then they make her drive like a crazy bat out of hell in her like little convertible car, and she's like a bad driver and is crazy. Why is that?
But why do you think they made Kimmy so young? I mean, they literally go to a bar and she's like ordering an Amstel Light, and you're like, wait a minute,
because it like helps you agree with Jules more, so you
That
think she's
she's
not as like crazy, that she
not
wants to break
good
this
for
up.
good for them, 'cause
that
she's
you want to
too
believe
young.
that like it's not a good match either.
Because I think this movie would have benefited, as you said before, from making those two characters older. Because it made no sense that someone was panicking at 28, when I guess maybe in the late 90s it was still like pretty cool to get married that young.
Yeah.
And even like, and that someone would even consider getting married at 20 years old. I mean, I guess that happens now, but when it does, you're kind of like, whoa, what is wrong with you?
And they like rush into it so quickly.
Yeah.
Like you could be maybe long engagement's okay, but no, they're just like
be engaged
tomorrow
for
we're
a
getting
year.
married tomorrow. That's it.
It's that part was just like didn't make
yeah.
sense. But obviously they did that for the story. So like,
Yeah, speed it up.
if they had dated longer,
Yeah.
it would have been harder for her to even consider breaking
Yeah.
them up, I guess. But yeah, I just like hate that part where Kimmy's like, yeah, I'm not going back to school. Like, what?
And then he like gets a little mad about it, and it's like, what? What's his problem? That's Michael's problem.
Oh, when
He's
she's
not a
like,
feminist.
but I'm
He's not a
quitting my
feminist.
job and moving away from my family for you, and he gets all,
Yeah.
that part was weird, and they get in that weird fight, and then she like immediately backs down, and she's like, I'm sorry. It seems very weird.
Yeah, Kimmy is,
I love that
even
scene.
though she's like super sweet, I'm like, ugh, girl. Like, she just worries me. Like, how quickly
you
she
think
goes
they made
back, and like, I mean,
I'm
like,
surprised they haven't made like a 20-year
Yeah.
version of this, where she tries to steal him back again or something. I don't know.
she's like extra crazy,
and she succeeds
Kimmy,
this time or something.
no, Kimmy would be onto her tricks. I don't know. I like to think they make it. Like, they, for some reason, there's those couples that like they shouldn't, but for some reason they do work. I feel like that's Kimmy and Michael. And like, good for her. Like, he's boring, so like I'm not sad. I'm not broken up about it for Jules.
Yeah.
Like, she'll find someone, I'm sure.
I feel like this movie did start something like a marriage pact kind of thing, that people who were friends with people of the opposite sex, or it could be a same sex too, I guess. Like, you would be like, okay, like, you're my great friend, and like, if we're both still single by the time, and the age has creeped up to 40, right? Then we're gonna marry each other because would be like a perfect match. And like, again, like, no, you're not. You should try dating and see if it would work. There's theoretical. You think someone your best friend is gonna be someone who you can marry. It doesn't. That usually doesn't not how it works. You know, that's like some fantasy.
Yeah. Not usually.
But I feel like it did
Not
spur a lot of marriage pacts. 'Cause I feel like in like other pop culture things.
I was going to ask you a question. Now I forget. Damn it. It was
Here's my
really
question
good.
for
It was a
you.
good discussion.
What's your karaoke song?
Oh, so I don't know. So you may not know about me, but I've never done karaoke. Even though I think I'd be pretty good at it, but I'm like a little nervous about it. I don't know. I've never like sung in front of people really ever, other than like you. It's really I don't sing in front of anyone.
Wow.
So I don't know. I'm just like nervous about it. So I count like all these songs in my head. I'm like, I go back and forth. I don't have one.
You don't have one?
So I got to find one. But I'm like, I've thought of a couple. I don't know. What's yours?
Okay, my current one is Under the Bridge, Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Interesting.
I haven't done it yet, but I want to. I know.
Give me a little preview.
Ready? Sometimes I feel like I don't have a partner. Sometimes I feel like my only friend. It's the city I live in, the city of angels. Lonely as I am, together we cry. So this came up. I was with my boyfriend and we were in Vermont, and this song came on the radio, and I realized that I knew, unbeknownst to myself, every word of that song. I don't know. Popular song back in the day. I guess I just heard it a lot. And we were like, yeah, this would be a great karaoke song. Because I already know. It's nice to get ones that you already know the words. Even though the words are in front of you, you're like anticipating
I flubbed the words.
it.
I messed them up.
Yeah. But still, it's good to pick one. What karaoke songs have I done? I did Summer Nights from Greece with my friend Haley one time. I did, what was that one I did again with her? I don't know. I've only done it a handful of times. I haven't done that much. It's pretty daunting.
I want like a show-stopping, like the Flashdance song or like something good.
Yeah, I thought you picked that one recently.
I did, but no one seemed excited about it. They're like, I don't know what that is. I'm like, are you kidding?
Yeah, you gotta have ones that people like can kind of join in on.
Well, that's what I was thinking. And then they could be like, I have rhythm now. No, people won't join in on that. I don't know. I thought it'd be good. I'll think about it. I'll get back to you.
Someone did Gloria one time at this bar, these ladies, and I like went up there and helped them. That was really fun.
That's a good one.
Gloria, did you know that Sarah Jessica Parker was slated to be the Julia character?
I do
the
know
Jules
that
character,
because you told me right before it started.
but she couldn't do it because she was doing Sex in the City. So I don't know if she would have been good in that. Like,
she would have been good.
Well, at first I was like, I don't think she could be as like the kind of unlikable side of Jules, but she's pretty unlikable in The Family
I
Stone.
know.
Also, with
I know.
Dermott.
What is this? Unlikable? We have to be unlikable when we're
Mulroney.
with Dermott.
Yeah,
Dermott.
she's pretty
Mulroney.
unlikable in that. Just up till the very end.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
Yeah.
Wild, but she's. I mean, she was a bad person in First Wives Club. She's very good at being either or.
Yeah, definitely.
Love that SJP. Any other trivia?
That's all I have.
That's all you have.
Yeah, they didn't have any good ones in the.
Okay, well, I would like to play a game called How did Dermott Mulroney get his scar? We will each make an educated guess.
Okay.
Or two, and then we're going to Google it to see if we can come up with the right answer. See if the internets has it. Okay. So my theory. Fishing trip with his dad.
Well,
Hooks
explain
his
where
lip.
the scar is.
Okay, so the scar is like a line right above his lip. His top lip, like right, it's like a perfect little like indent, like right
and
there.
sometimes during the movie, sometimes it just like you're like, is that like sweat or is that shiny there? Like you're like, oh no, wait, scar.
Okay, yeah. Well, I mean, I think it has to be fishing trip. He's
Okay.
with his dad. He's like hooking a couple fish. Thinks he's getting all cocky. Does the thing. Whips it back. Hook snags him in the lip. Scar on the lip.
Okay.
Fishing hook in the lip. That's my.
All right, my theory is just like childhood skateboarding accident or something. Fell on his face, ripped open his lip. I don't know.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Let's
Cool.
see who wins. Who will be the closest? Man, I really wish I could remember what the topic is that I wanted to talk about. I thought it'd be a good discussion. Damn it. Oh well. What do you think about cardigans draped over your shoulder?
Such a preppy weird thing. I mean, Kimmy's very outdated.
It's just, what is the purpose? Like, what does that serve? Like, are you warm with that cardigan?
Well, I
Hold
think
on.
I win this bet.
What?
No skateboard, but I was 3.5 and I was carrying a dish for our pet rabbits and I tripped and it broke and I fell on it.
Why did you win? Excuse me. Neither of us win.
Neither of us
That was pretty random,
So
Dermot.
Oh my God, if I had come up with definitely carrying a dish for rabbits, then I would have been
I would give it to you if you were like, he
Or
had an
psychic.
accident when he was little and
Yeah.
fell on a sharp object. Maybe that would win.
Yeah.
But you don't win. Get out of here with that, you little pisher. Oh, man.
Oh, and just so you know, I owe you that $1 from the last bet. I'm going to Venmo you that right now.
Wow. So for everybody who forgets or did not listen to our last episode, Sweety and I got into a debate. Really, you should owe me a few dollars because I got a couple of things right and you got them wrong. But we got into a debate quickly about about if Chariots of Fire was a movie about running, as I said. And Sweety here was like, no, it's this movie about cycling. And she was positive and she was like, I bet you $1. And I was like, go for it. So we did, and then she looked it up, and I was right. It's obviously about running because it's that famous scene, you know. Obviously, everyone knows that. It's not about cycling. So I got $1. Woo! And also, I looked up the pea green fiasco. Sweetie thought it was peat green. I said pea green, like pea, metallic pea. I was right. So I won again. I'm usually always right.
You're going to lose again, Matt.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I didn't bet $1 on that
Yeah,
one,
yeah,
so
yeah.
I'm in the clear.
What
So
did you
do something
put
good
for
with that $1.
What did you put for the comment?
You're gonna have to find out.
Oh man.
It's not that funny.
Oh, make it funny.
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay.
All right. Well, that's about it for me in this wedding shenanigan movie. Everyone wish me luck about this weekend. Hydration is key.
Luck.
What songs are we hoping to play on for the dance portions of the
I don't know.
weddings?
I always like Shout. I always like you
I
know,
like a good Love Shack.
Love Shack.
I like a
Good one.
September.
Oh, September's my favorite.
I know.
Yeah, they're good.
I
They'll be
overplayed
good.
that for a while.
Yeah, I
couple
know. I
weddings,
haven't
I was
heard
like,
it in a while,
no.
so I'll be good. I'll be ready.
Yeah, it'll be good. It'll be good.
Yeah. Well, thanks for hanging with us. You can find us on Twitter at the Sweety Club or on Instagram at Large Marge Sent Us. Thank you as always for listening.
Bye.
Bye.